everybody! Today I'm going to release a very top secret recipe that I have been keeping to myself for years and years. That is not true. I share this recipe with everybody, but I wanted to show my kids especially how they can make delicious chocolate chip cookies with very, very few ingredients. These are cake mix cookies, and the story behind cake mix cookies is when I was teaching kindergarten, we used to have the parents bring in their snacks for the day, for the whole class, and a parent brought a tray of these, not eggs, cookies, all hot and smelling amazing from the oven. She brought them in, and my aide and I, we looked at them, we were like, what are these? And she told us what they were, what the recipe was. We sent the kids to gym. We counted the cookies. We kept one for every kid, and my aide and I, we ate all the rest of them because they were so good. And so ever since then, that was probably 1997. And so I've been making these ever since, and my kids' friends know, people I've gone to church with know, people I work with at school know how good the cake mix cookies are. And I want you to give them a try if you happen to have these ingredients around during this time of social distancing. So here we go. This is all you need. You need cake mix. I use white or yellow. So take the whole thing out. This is an Aldi cake mix, and you will find that all the cake mixes, they come out a little bit different. But this cake mix costs about 85 cents, and so for that reason, I am a big fan. So this takes the place of your flour and your sugar and your baking soda and all that stuff. So there you go. You need 1/3 cup of oil. So this is math time for the kids from my class, or maybe for you too. This is a whole cup. You can read that. C-U-P, cup. See, that was for you, kindergarten. And you're going to find where it says 1/3, 1 of 3. So 3 of those makes a whole cup. So we're going to go up to the 1/3 line with any kind of oil that you have. Vegetable oil, canola oil, probably not olive. I've never tried it that way. It might come out a little bit savory. So that's 1/3 cup, and that's going in. And then you need 2 eggs. I hope you have eggs. Okay, this is how I like to crack an egg. I do it here, put it here, and then in here, because if you crack it right into the bowl, if you get a shell, and especially because that's all white, you're never going to find that shell until someone bites into it in one of your cookies. So this is the best way that I found to crack an egg. Not on the edge. Do it on the counter. See? Put your thumbs in and pull it apart. And that was my cat who loves eggs. And anytime we're making eggs, hi, Queen. She hears it crack and she comes in because she wants some. So here we go again. Can you hear her? She's so cute. Maybe you should show the cat, Dan. So there you go. 2 eggs. So I'm just going to run this over to our magic trash can while Dan shows the cat. Sorry, no eggs for you. Okay, you ready? All right. Oh, you're doing that. All right, in go the eggs. And that is all. Except for chocolate chips, that's the only ingredients. So when I make this at school, it's more fun for the kids if they get a chance to stir it. And parents, if you're doing this at home and you have more than one kid, I want you to think about these words and say these words with your kids when you're baking. I cook with the children at school all the time, and it always works out because we always say this together. Everybody is going to get to do something, but nobody gets to do everything. Say it with me again. Everybody gets to do something, but not everybody gets to do everything, okay? And that helps because maybe you're an egg cracker today, or maybe you get to add the chocolate chips. Probably everyone will get to stir. You pass it around like that. So the kids love to stir. I don't care for stirring, so I'm going to use my hand mixer. When I use my stand mixer that's back there, this takes less than a minute to mix together. So here we go. about there. Okay. Maybe one more. So you can see, oh, there goes Alexa. It looks just like cookie dough. Easy peasy. And then you're gonna add the chips. And I hate to say this, I like a lot more cookie than chips, but if you like to put a lot of chips in, like in the olden times with the whole bag of Nestle Toll House, they throw the whole bag in. I don't go that way. I usually do about 2/3 cup, and I have a 2/3 cup measure there, oddly. So because I did my eggs in there, I'm gonna use my hands. My hands are clean. We're all washing them so many times a day. So in goes the chocolate chips. Give that a little stir. And now you're ready. My family will tell you this dough is very, very good for eating raw. Don't do it though, it's bad. Don't eat raw dough. Nobody in our house ever does. So anyway, it's all finished, and then the secret to keeping your cookies all the same is, of course, a handy dandy ice cream scoop. So here we go. Scrape it off on the side. And they're all gonna come out just perfect. Keep them a little bit apart because they're gonna spread. When you don't have time to make a real Toll House cookie recipe, you're gonna be so happy that you know how to make cake mix cookies. And after I've given this recipe out a million times, I've had people tell me that they use like chocolate and then they put peanut butter chips in, or they buy spice cake and they put in cinnamon chips, or I've done red velvet with white chocolate and that's come out good. But you cannot beat old-fashioned white cake mix with semi-sweet chips. It's my personal favorite. If you like to disperse your chocolate a little bit more evenly, you can get the mini chips. That's always kind of fun. So you can see it doesn't make like as many as a real Toll House recipe would make, but then that gives you an excuse to make more cookies because we all have a lot of time right now, right? So here we go. I have my oven set to 350, and I always go for about 11 minutes depending on your oven, and then I let them cool for 2 minutes on the tray. So they're ready to go in the oven. That's what they look like. You gonna pause it when I put it in the oven? All right, see you when they're done. Okay, this is what they look like when they come out. I did 12 to 13 minutes on this because they are a little bit bigger than usual. And you can see they still look a little bit wet on top. I let them bake on the tray after I take it out. You know, they just sit on the tray for at least 2 minutes to kind of set. So that gives the edges a chance to dry out, and the middle is still like really gooey and nice. So anyway, take my taste test here. I forgot to mention that I always use parchment sheets to bake on. You can see this paper here that's not waxed paper. Don't use waxed paper because that will melt and become a giant mess. But parchment paper is amazing for baking, and then you don't have to wash anything. Underneath I have the Silpats, and that holds the parchment in place. So I do have kind of a high maintenance baking situation. But if Sophie made them the other day on a plain old cookie sheet, we were down in Bloomington. She wanted to make cookies and they didn't stick. So I don't think you have to spray it. I do highly recommend parchment, but if you don't have it, who cares? Just give it a go and, you know, chalk it up to learning. All baking is learning. That's how you get good at it. Anyway, so let's take a peek. You're going to want to get a close-up on this, Mr. Dan, I think, because it's so nice and gooey in the middle. Okay, see? Look. Oh, it's nice. So I'll just take a little taste. Can you get me in there? If you can have these when they're warm. It's so good. If you had a glass of iced tea or a glass of milk, you could not beat it. This is exactly what they tasted like when I had them back when I was teaching kindergarten in Coldwater, Michigan. I'm telling you, the first time might just be the best time because it's such a taste treat. I hate to brag. It's not my recipe, so I can't remember whose mom it was. That child would be probably in her 30s now. So if you're out there and your mom taught me how to make cake mix cookies, I say thank you. My kids say thank you. My school says thank you. We all do. So I hope you'll give these a try today. I'm going to share the rest of my taste with Mr. Dan. So if you like this video, comment underneath. If you make the cookies, put a picture underneath or tell us how they turned out if you tried a different recipe with different chips or different flavored of cake mix. I can try to think of more things to cook for you, so we'll see how this goes. But it's so good to bake with you today, and I hope you'll give these a try.